Welcome back, everybody. Today, we're going to be diving deep into something.
Ooh, fun.
Yeah.
I love a good deep dive.
Yeah. So this one is going to be particularly yummy, I think.
Oh, really?
It's all about dried fruit,
Okay.
but not the kind that you just think of in the bulk bins.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking about Shirdell.
Shirdell?
Yeah, they specialize in dried fruit from the Middle East.
Interesting.
And kind of beyond. So
cool.
all these really, really interesting flavors and
Yeah, I'm intrigued.
yeah.
You know, it's funny because when I think of dried fruit, I just think like trail mix or like a kid's lunchbox. But
Yeah.
historically,
Yeah.
dried fruit was so important, like for travelers and soldiers and stuff,
Really?
because it lasted a long time. It was portable.
Yeah.
And, you know, it was like concentrated sweetness and nutrients.
It's like the original energy bar.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, totally.
So, what makes dried fruit stand out nutritionally today? Well, they're like these little nutritional powerhouses.
Right.
When you dry fruit,
Yeah.
you're removing the water.
Mm-hmm.
So all the vitamins and minerals and fiber gets concentrated.
Okay.
So like dried apricots
Yes.
are a great source of iron.
Interesting.
Yeah. And iron's important for energy
Mm-hmm.
and for your red blood cells.
Okay.
And then dates are packed with potassium,
Wow.
which helps your muscles work,
Okay, yeah.
keeps your blood pressure healthy.
That's great.
Yeah.
What about the sugar, though?
Ah, yes. The sugar question.
Yeah, because it is sweet.
It is sweet.
It's fruit. It's got to have sugar.
Right. Well, they do have sugar.
Okay.
Mostly fructose and glucose.
Right.
But it's natural sugar.
Yeah.
And it's paired with all that fiber.
Mm-hmm.
So it slows down how your body absorbs it.
Okay.
So you don't get those.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so you don't get those spikes and crashes
Yeah.
that you get with refined sugar.
Okay.
Plus, the fiber is great for your gut. Keeps things moving, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. So, okay, dried fruit has got some nutritional things going for it.
Totally.
What about Shirdell got SE specifically?
So what's cool about Shirdells is
Yeah.
that they focus on high-quality dried fruits
Okay.
from specific regions, particularly the Middle East.
Right.
So it's not just about offering dried fruit. It's about showcasing all these unique flavors and qualities.
Like terroir for dried fruit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. So what are some examples?
Well, they have these fresh Iranian dates
Okay.
that are so soft and sweet.
Really?
They're like caramel candy almost.
Wow.
You could chop them up
Yeah.
and put them in oatmeal
Oh my gosh, that sounds amazing.
or smoothies.
That would be delicious.
Yeah.
What else?
They also have dried apricots from Syria
Interesting.
that are like bright
Right.
and tangy and chewy.
Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah, and they're perfect for baking
Okay.
because they have pectin in them, which helps make cakes and muffins moist and tender.
That's a good tip.
Yeah.
Any other interesting ones?
Oh, yeah, their black jumbo raisins are unreal.
Okay.
They are so plump and juicy,
Wow.
and they have this almost winey flavor.
That's interesting.
I know,
Wow.
for raisins.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're good for baking, of course.
Yeah.
But because they're so intensely sweet,
Yeah.
you can use them to balance out savory dishes.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Raisins in like a savory dish?
Yeah, like imagine a tagine
Oh.
with lamb and spices.
Mhm.
And then you get these little bursts of sweetness from the raisins.
Huh.
Yeah, or like a salad
Okay.
with bitter greens and walnuts.
Okay.
And then those raisins for sweetness and chewiness.
Yeah.
It's all about contrast, you know?
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
It's like sweet and sour.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Totally.
I saw they also have dried plums.
Yes.
Is that just prunes?
So all prunes are dried plums,
Oh.
but not all dried plums are prunes.
Shirdell has dried Iranian plums.
Interesting.
They're known for being like really intense and jammy on a little part. So they work in sweet and savory stuff.
Wow, I've never had Iranian plums.
You should try them.
I would?
You could add them to a stew for depth.
Okay.
Or make a chutney out of them.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got dates, apricots, raisins, plums.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Well, those are some highlights.
Yeah.
But they have a ton of stuff.
Right.
They have figs, mulberries, and even goji berries.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So lots to choose from,
Yeah.
but it's all got to be expensive.
That's actually one of the best things about Shirdell.
Yeah.
Prices are really good.
Oh, wow.
So you can get all this
Yeah.
great quality stuff
Okay.
without breaking the bank.
So we got nutrition, we got unique flavors, we
Yeah.
got good prices.
Mhm.
Anything else that makes them stand out?
I'd say their commitment to quality and sustainability,
Okay.
they work directly with the farmers.
Wow.
And they're really transparent about their sourcing.
That's good.
Yeah. It makes you feel good about what you're buying.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Anything else our listeners should know?
Well, besides all that,
Yeah.
they make it really easy to shop.
Okay.
They have a great website
Yeah.
and fast delivery all over Sweden.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So you can try all this stuff from home.
Yep.
Awesome. Okay, we covered a lot in this first part.
We did.
We talked about the nutrition in dried fruit.
Yeah.
We talked about Shirdell.se and all their interesting flavors and
Right.
their commitment to quality and all that.
Yeah.
But there's still more to uncover.
Oh, yeah.
So stay tuned.
Definitely.
We'll be right back with more on dried fruit and Shirdell.se.
Sounds good. So we've talked a lot about snacking on dried fruits, but I think there's so much more we can do with them in the kitchen.
Yeah, totally. I mean, when I think about dried fruit and cooking,
Yeah.
it's pretty much just baking.
Right. Well, baking is a great place to start. Dried fruits add so much to baked goods.
Yeah.
Sweetness, texture, you name it.
Like those black jumbo raisins.
Yes.
In oatmeal raisin cookies.
The best.
Yeah, they make them so chewy.
Exactly.
And I've seen recipes for scones with dried apricots.
Oh, yeah.
They must add like a nice tangy sweetness.
Totally. And that beautiful golden color.
Yeah, and the Iranian dates.
Oh, man.
They're so soft and caramelly.
I know.
They'd be perfect in like a sticky toffee pudding.
Ooh. Or a date and nut loaf
Yeah.
with some warm spices.
Ooh, that sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got bacon covered.
Mm-hmm.
But you mentioned savory dishes too.
Right. That's where it gets really interesting.
I'm a little hesitant, I gotta say.
I know it sounds weird,
Yeah.
but trust me. It's
Oh,
all about balance.
okay.
Like those black jumbo raisins.
Yeah.
They're amazing in raw and tagines.
Really?
Yeah. Their sweetness goes so well with the savory spices and the lamb.
That makes sense, actually.
Yeah.
It's like sweet and sour pork
That's
or
exactly.
cranberry sauce with turkey.
It's all about contrast.
I get it.
And you can use other dried fruits too,
Okay.
like those Iranian plums.
Yeah. Yeah.
Their tartness is perfect for stews and braises.
Oh, yeah. Like beef stew with prunes.
Exactly.
So the Iranian plums add that same depth, but less sweet.
Exactly.
Oh.
And dried apricots too.
Really?
Yeah, they have that bright tart sweetness.
Yeah.
You could even put them in a salad
Interesting.
with arugula and toasted almonds
Okay.
and a tangy vinaigrette.
I'm starting to see dried fruits in a whole new light.
I told you.
They're like a pantry staple,
Totally.
like onions or garlic.
You can use them in so many things.
Okay, so any tips for actually cooking with them?
Good question.
Yeah.
One thing is that they can be pretty chewy.
Right.
So you might want to rehydrate them first.
Okay.
Just soak them in hot water for a few minutes,
Mm-hmm.
or even juice or alcohol.
Oh, wow. Fancy.
It plumps them up and makes them more tender.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, and it helps distribute their flavor better.
Makes sense. What else?
Think about the size and shape too.
Okay.
Like if you're adding them to cake batter,
Yeah.
you might want to chop them smaller
Right.
so they don't all sink to the bottom.
Okay.
And if you're adding them to a stew,
Yeah.
you can leave them whole or roughly chop them.
Right. For a more rustic look.
Exactly.
Okay, so we got baking savory dishes covered.
Yep.
What about breakfast?
Breakfast is a great time for dried fruit.
Yeah.
You can put them in smoothies
Okay.
or make granola.
Homemade granola.
Yes.
That's the best.
It's so much better than store-bought.
Totally.
And you can add all your favorite dried fruits
Yeah.
for chewiness
Yeah.
and sweetness.
Mm-hmm.
You can get really creative with the flavors.
Like what?
Dates and pistachios.
Ooh. Middle Eastern vibes.
Exactly.
Like cranberries and pecans.
Classic.
Yeah.
There's so many possibilities.
Seriously, dried fruits are way more versatile than I thought.
I know, right?
They can add sweetness and flavor and texture
Yeah.
to pretty much anything.
It's exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, it is actually. So we've learned a lot about dried fruit, haven't
Yeah.
we?
We've covered a lot of ground.
From nutrition to all the amazing things Shirdell Stitches is doing.
Yeah, it's really impressive.
But before we wrap things up,
Mm-hmm.
I want to bring it back to you.
Our listener.
Yeah, our listener.
Right.
What can they take away from all this?
That's the important part, right?
Exactly.
We can talk all day about dried fruit,
Yeah.
but it's about how this knowledge helps you.
In your own kitchen.
Exactly.
So let's recap real quick.
Okay.
We started by busting that myth that dried fruits are just candy.
Right. There's so much more than that.
They're full of good stuff.
Vitamins, minerals, fiber,
My good stuff.
all that good stuff.
All the good stuff.
And we talked about how the drying process actually concentrates those nutrients.
Yeah, it's like a superpower.
It is.
You get more bang for your buck.
Totally. Plus the natural sugars are balanced out by the fiber.
Exactly.
So you don't get those crazy energy swings.
No sugar crashes here.
It's just good, sustained energy.
Exactly. And then we talked about Shirdell.
Oh, yeah. They're amazing.
They're changing the game.
Totally. They're sourcing these unique and delicious dried fruits,
From all over the place.
especially the Middle East.
Right. It's like a global pantry.
Yeah, you can travel the world through dried fruit.
I love that we talked about those Iranian dates.
Oh my gosh, so good.
Like caramel candies.
Perfect for snacking or baking or smoothies.
Everything.
And those Syrian apricots,
Ooh, so tangy.
they add so much to sweet and savory dishes.
And then the black jumbo raisins.
Don't even get me started.
So plump and juicy.
Amazing in baked goods, but also surprisingly good in savory dishes.
Like those Moroccan tagines.
Yeah, it's mind-blowing.
And we can't forget about the Iranian plums.
Oh yeah, they're unique.
They're so tart.
They add a whole other dimension to cooking.
They do. And on top of all that,
Mm.
Shirdell is all about quality.
And sustainability.
They work directly with the farmers.
Yeah, they're really committed to ethical sourcing.
It's inspiring.
It is.
So what does this all mean for you?
Our listener.
Yeah, for you listening right now.
It means you can make your meals more delicious,
More interesting.
more nutritious.
Yeah, you can snack smarter.
Ditch those processed snacks.
And reach for some dried fruit instead.
You can try new things in the kitchen.
Experiment with flavors.
Get creative with dried fruits in sweet and savory dishes.
And you can feel good about supporting a company.
That cares about quality.
On sustainability.
It's a win-win.
So we've given you a lot to think about.
Yeah, we have.
But here's one last question for you.
As you head back into your kitchen.
How can you use these amazing dried fruits
From Shirdell,
to make your meal even better?
will you add those sweet Iranian dates to your next baking project?
Or maybe you'll try those tart Iranian plums in a stew.
The possibilities are endless.
So get creative
Explore new flavors.
and let your taste buds be your guide.
Happy cooking, everyone.
Thanks for joining us on this delicious deep dive.
It was fun.
See you next time.